Welcome back to the show. Joined now by our Patriots analyst for the season, Damon Amendolara in the house. 98.5, the Sports Hub out of Boston. Your show from 7 o'clock to midnight. It's not quite that late yet, so you still have some energy to help us out
Just
here.
a little bit of energy left in the tank, but we'll try to get the most out of it.
I appreciate you being with us tonight and throughout the season.
Yeah.
First things first, somebody should probably tell the Cincinnati Bengals that the season has started. The Patriots started off really well, and I don't know, there was kind of a sense of urgency almost in the preseason. Did you feel that maybe that carried over a little bit, especially into the first half of that game today?
I actually thought that the Patriots in the preseason didn't look so great. I thought there was plenty of times where we needed to see more energy, more acclimation to maybe a new defensive scheme because Dean Pease left, and now new DC, Matt Patricia and Pepper Johnson had some new things to throw in there. Today, though, was a different Patriots team. If they looked like garbage and they looked like slop in the preseason, today they looked outstanding, specifically for the first half. Second half felt like an exhale. You know, I think they built that lead 24-3 at the half and then kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit. But all said, I can't say I saw any of that coming. You know, offensively, clearly we knew they had some weapons. But to that point, I didn't know if we were going to see them hitting on all cylinders. And then defensively, very, very impressive today.
And immediately after the game, the subject went right back to contracts. Randy Moss opening up a little bit there. Last week he said he didn't feel wanted. And now kind of right after the game, he just kind of spoke freely. Do you think that'll be a distraction from here on out?
Yeah, it will be, simply because the media loves Randy Moss stories, and myself included. Randy Moss is as polarizing as anybody on the Patriots. It's probably Randy Moss than everybody else in terms of talk topics. So, yeah, this is going to be dredged up, and it's going to be talked about and analyzed and cut up and sliced up every which way over the course of this entire week and maybe this entire season. Randy knows this, and I think Randy at first wanted to maybe set the record straight on his contract, but it's kind of spiraled out of control for him, and he was honest, and you have to appreciate that. At the same time, it's a distraction, and he had to know that going in. I get it. He wants to get his. Is that the right time? Is that the right platform? Is that the right forum? Probably not. But is this a distraction? Yeah, and Patriots fans can say, well, we shouldn't. That's not the real storyline. Hey, deal with it. It's going to be a storyline because everyone wants to talk about it.
And one thing everyone's going to talk about, and he keeps saying it, he said it again today, doesn't see himself in a Patriots uniform after this season. Now, we still have a ways to go in this season, but do you think that's a possibility? Would Robert Kraft allow it to go that far?
Yeah, I think it's a real possibility that he won't be a Patriot after this season. He was asked what his relationship is with the Krafts, and he basically said it's not good, you know, and I think it's not good. And that also, I think, underscores the point that the Krafts feel like he can be a headache, and he can be. Now, you balance that with how productive he can be. But if the owners feel like he's a little bit of a headache, maybe a big headache, and he's in a contract year, yeah, there's every possibility to believe that after the season they won't re-sign him. It's up to Randy to have a career year, and that means 1,800 yards and 19 touchdowns because he has put up those numbers again. But, you know, if he has sick numbers, he forces their hand to have to make that. But I think there's a very real possibility there at the end of the road with these type of distractions.
And the other distraction would be the Logan Mankins. And that came out today. The sources said that the deal was so close to being done. Where do you see this thing headed?
Problem with this is that look at how good the offense looked today. I don't think anybody in that locker room is going, man, we need Logan Mankins right now. They did what they wanted against a good Bengals defense. I have the tendency to believe that this Bengals team will take a step back. They're not very well coached. They got 10-6 out of this team last year. I have a tendency to believe this is about a 7-9, 8-8 Bengals team, so don't go crazy. But hey, offensively in that locker room, you could not look around and say, we need Logan Mankins. They put up 38 without him. And Logan, every time we see the offense do something like this, he loses this much leverage.
The defense, that was going to be the spotlight. That is the spotlight. They're young. They did give up a lot of yards today, but did you see some things that maybe it's going to be a promising season with this young group?
No question. There's no question. I was very pessimistic going into this game. Every listener that heard me gripe about the defense and the youth and the inexperience will probably say, see, I told you so, DA. But I just never expected this. It takes a long time for youngsters to get to a point where you don't have to worry about them. But we might already be there with Devin McCourty. We might already be there with Darius Butler. I thought Brandon Spike showed some flashes as well. And what I liked most was that there was an energy. There was an energy and electricity defensively. They were flying around. They were hitting. They were making plays. And as long as you're not asking the young guys to think too much, As long as you're just letting them play, I think Patriots fans will be okay if they make mistakes at 100 miles an hour. You just don't want to see confusion. You don't want to see hesitation. We didn't see that today from the young defense, and that's clearly the most encouraging thing that we witnessed today.
I appreciate you coming in.
You got it.
Once again, DEA Show on the Sports Hub 98.5. We'll be back with more NFL highlights after this.